Hello, everyone. We're the Community Conversations team, and our Capstone project is going to be a series of participatory art and design installations and workshops that aim to gather folks in the U of M student community to have conversations and to build connections. My name's Ariel. I'm a junior in information and psychology. I have been a peer facilitator for 2 years, and I'm excited to take on a new adventure within the BLI.
Hi, I'm Bree. I'm a junior in art and design, studying industrial design and design research. And I just became a BLI fellow this past semester, and I'm really excited to have the opportunity to be participating in this capstone experience. So the Community Conversations project that Ariel and I are both working on came from an idea that originated from my sophomore project, so just last year. And what I did is I created a tablecloth, which is where we got the table or the dinner table conversations, that brought it together people to talk about sustainability in a fun way. This is a picture of one of the finished tablecloths, and essentially what it boiled down to was that I wanted to facilitate a conversation amongst peers about sustainability and have it be so that people were learning from each other. So people were voicing their concerns, but also like saying what they knew, because something that I've learned about myself is I learn more through conversations and like debates with people about myself and what I believe in. And I think that that's a very like powerful method of like discovery and self-discovery. And so I wanted to create a tablecloth or an experience that kind of helped facilitate community building, but also like self-discovery. And so this project has gone through many iterations. It's changed rapidly. It's had 2 real life interactions with people and run-throughs, and then countless thousands, I would say, many changes along the way. And something about this project that is notable is that we aren't stuck just on this method of tablecloth conversations. We are really excited to be iterating and executing many different ideas and many different installations and workshops to bring people together in a community who may or may not ever be in the same room together otherwise. And some of the conversations that can come out of these dinner table conversations or these like participatory art workshops are really fascinating. For an example, on the left of the screen, there was a quote, or not so much a quote, but a kind of visual representation that happened during one of the workshops where you were supposed to ask the group, what is something that you wish you could say to the generations before you? And the participants wrote down kind of bullet list what they were talking about. So, and some of the funnier ones, or the ones that I really aligned with, were don't build auto-oriented infrastructure, stop having children, and invest in Apple, but don't trust them. And it's really interesting, as someone who didn't participate in their conversation or didn't sit down with them at the table, that I can see myself and some of my beliefs still represented in their conversations. And I think that that's really interesting as a way of visual communication as well. Another part of the project is we included a visual identity workshop. So this was part of the second interaction or like run through, where you could visually see who came to the table and who you were sitting across from, but also once it was all over, you can kind of tell who was there. And this was another way of injecting play and like playfulness into the project. So the map kind of, you shade in the things that you like or the things that you kind of do or believe in or align with, and then you will leave the ones that you don't do blank, but the other ones that you have complex emotions, you either color in a different color or shade it in with like a crosshatch. And I I thought it was a fun way to kind of tell who came to the table and who didn't. And one of my favorite things that came out of one of the conversation was this particular comment card that I think is really telling in our age is, what is a crisis and will it ever be enough? And so one of the main things that happens with these conversations is a lot of philosophical musings and kind of debates. And I think now we're all experiencing something that we've never felt in our lifetime. And will it be enough to bring us together? And will this project be enough to bring people back together and feel like they have a sense of community? That's just one of the things that has been on the back of my mind and since we started this project. Ariel, would you like to talk about what and how we want to explore?
Yeah, of course. So, to sum up the background of this project, through all those implementations, we really came to believe that these conversations are a powerful way to bring people together, to have open conversations, and to build connections with one another. And going forward, community will still be at the heart of our project. As student leaders, we believe that we have that capability to build that sense of acceptance and facilitate sustainable relationships, especially at our age when we all feel very separated from each other. Specifically, we want to explore this theme through active play and collaborative art making. And here's an anecdote of how that theme came into our thought process. So, Brie and I were both at a BLI retreat a couple months ago, and there's an activity where we wrote down or drew out things that are important to us or our values. And both of us mentioned that we want to empower ourselves as well as other people to really enjoy and explore art as a means of creative expression. We believe that it should be accessible to everyone and you should not be intimidated, even if you're not a great artist, and that's okay. And so the ways we're gonna explore, you know, different ways to implement our themes will be through looking at existing words of participatory art and design, from social media platforms to websites to books and collections out there. We'll also look at methods of community building that experts have already tested out. We will also utilize our network of resources to see if there are any opportunities to expand this project beyond the U of M community in the local area. And finally, we will iterate on our ideas and pilot our workshops and experiment with different variations amongst ourselves and with our peers. We might test it out. So be on the lookout of that. Thank you. That's the end of our presentation.
Thank you.